So, hello everybody. This is a very exciting release that we're doing this week. This is the first bottling run of Wild Child. So what is Wild Child? Wild Child is a beer that I used to make back at the pub. It was a sour beer, of course, that went through different changes. I had like 2 barrels at the pub. And it was literally, it was so busy, it was for playing around and blending into beers and stuff like that, but that got washed away in the flood. So we were so busy at the new brewery in Waterbury. It took a year or so until we even got ready to do it, but I slowly started adding a barrel program in Waterbury and building up a sour beer program again at the Alchemist. Now, maybe 30 barrels, which is more than enough. The whole program is designed for me to have fun and to not actually have to rely on producing a sour beer year-round all the time and get people's expectations up. This is literally a work of the heart. So this first iteration, this is a blonde sour ale. This is a blend between 2-year-old and 1-year-old. We bottled this back in May. This is bottling number 1. We will be dating these bottles. The label will stay the same. We'll put different information on the back to let you know exactly what is in there. But this is the first one that I have deemed worthy for release to the public. And I think it came together beautifully. So sour beers, it's a personal thing. You know, I make these beers to have the flavor profile that I prefer in a sour beer. There's a whole world of different flavors out there that people create in this style. First and foremost, something I want to make note of, when I pour sour beers, I always wash out my glass with clean hot water. Get any kind of detergent from your washing machine, anything like that out of there. As anybody that drinks these types of beers, you will know that it's hard to find a sour beer that actually holds a head. I go through certain things to assure that that happens. Hops are an important part of that. And a clean glass is also very important. You can see the color that it takes on from those years in the cask. This is a blonde ale. When it goes in, it takes on that beautiful kind of copper hue. And it is, like I said, what I am looking for in a sour beer, which is an acidic profile, but something that still retains extreme drinkability. I don't want to just drink 2 ounces of something and be done with it. I want to be able to drink a whole bottle of it and thoroughly enjoy it. So, the acidity is very balanced. It doesn't wash out thin. It holds up and has a little bit of body to support that acidity, and at the same time, make it refreshing and quenching and something that you're just dying to take that next sip of. The barrels that are used are a mix, white wine, red wine, depending. These barrels have been turned to the point where you no longer pick up any kind of wine character. There's a hint of the oakiness in there, but nothing too offensive or too prominent. And the acidity is just beautifully balanced. We kind of learned our lesson on that run of bottled Petite last year with carbonation levels. This one is right around 3 volumes of CO2, which is, as you can see, is just a real nice level. When you pour it firmly like that, though, it brings the carbonation level down so it's not too prickly and overbearing with the carbonation. So Wild Child got its name because the first time I brewed it was when our son Charlie was about 3 years old. And it was a very fitting name because he was certainly a wild child. So this beer is named after our son Charlie. Something you'll notice with this is the sediment holds really tightly to the bottom of the bottle, which is nice. You can get a couple of pours out of your beer before it starts to get cloudy. And again, look at the way the head holds in that clean glass. That is, to me, a very important thing in a sour beer. I would have been crushed if I had started pouring this and that head just sizzled away to nothing. And if it does, it's your glass. You've got a dirty glass, or you just put lip balm on or something stupid like that. Wild Child #1. Hope you enjoy it. We sure have a lot of fun making beers like this. There's no rhyme or reason when we're gonna release, and they'll be slightly different every time. So welcome to the series of Wild Child. We have a little under 1,000 bottles of it, and when it's gone, it's gone. Come on in, Wild Child.